How is it going today? Well, it's my Dwayne.
My name's Jazz.
We're Dwayne Jazz. Today we have a movie review. Pet Sematary. Oh my god.
It's actually a remake.
It's a remake.
A while ago.
Yeah,
I think it was like the 70s or something like that. I didn't
the 70s or
see
80s, probably the 80s.
I didn't see the whole thing, but I saw bits and parts of it.
I didn't even get to see it. I need to go back and watch the first one so I can compare.
It's gonna be grainy.
It's gonna be different.
It's gonna be grainy.
It's not gonna, the quality's gonna be
that resolution's gonna be
right. It's not gonna be too bad. All right, but anyway, let's get into the movie. So we start off with the doctor. His name is Lewis. And they moved from Boston to Massachusetts. I mean Boston.
Maine.
No, Boston to Maine. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Boston to Maine. Boston to Maine.
Boston is
to have like a slower life and stuff like that. He's a university doctor that's working at a clinic, right?
Yeah.
Okay. And so now they're in this new town. He's at work, and then he has his wife and his kids, 2 kids, and he has his pet named Church. Now remember, Church. It's gonna be important. A pet cat. And then Rachel and Ellie. They're looking up. They're exploring their house and stuff like that. And then all of a sudden they see these kids with these masks on.
Yeah, and playing drums and everything. Like it's a ritual. And then they're wheelbarrowing.
Yeah, a dog.
To the Pet Sematary. And the girl's like, "What's going on?" And they have a neighbor that knows what's going on. And he's
his name is Judd.
Yeah, his name is Judd.
You go, Judd.
Like, oh yeah.
Oh my God.
He said, this is where people bury it and everything, and it's technically part of your yard because they own a lot of acres.
A lot of acres, yeah.
I think like 50 acres. He
50
said,
acres, he said.
So
something ridiculous.
There's like, how far back does it go? He said far back, and you want to know.
Yeah, because she was trying to. She met Judd because she snuck off by herself to the Pet Sematary with those kids to look at it, and she was definitely about to go into the part where you're not supposed to.
Where they put like these like a wooden dam almost.
Yeah.
And, like for you to like don't go.
This is a not go
still. And she was, of course, climbing up it because she's a child, and Judd saw her and said, "Don't you do that."
Yeah, and she fell down because he startled her and he helped her up, and then the mom comes and then tells her not to go.
And then they basically become friends with Judd because he's like their neighbor and they don't know anybody, so they're gonna talk to him. And
then they get to a crazy scene, right? The scene where he's working at the clinic, and then they have this kid, like I think, got in a car accident. You can see like his brain and all that stuff, and he's in he's on the verge of dying.
A stretcher.
Yeah.
And like the whole half side of his face is all messed up, and the side of his arm is messed up. And then the dude dies, and then when the doctor's like, sad because he couldn't save the kid, then he magically gets back up, and then he's telling him he knows his name. He's like, Lewis.
Yeah.
And like speaking to him, and
come to find out, it's not real. It's real, but people are other people.
It's real. It's like a vision.
It's a vision.
Like he's dead, but but he see it as this is real, and it kind of just like spooked him, and he was basically talking about the Pet Sematary and stuff like that. And then Church the cat, he's very close to Ellie, not so much the son, but Ellie really loves that little cat, and it's always around everywhere.
And flash forward to Halloween, Judd finds the cat, calls Lewis over, tells him the cat is dead.
Yeah.
Make sure tonight we're gonna do something, blah blah blah. And
because he saw so much that Ellie loved the cat.
Yeah.
He wasn't gonna bury him in the regular part of the Pet Sematary. He said, no, we gotta go further. So we gotta go over the dam and then go through water and go up these steps on a mountain and bury him underneath this gravel and everything. And then the next morning, that cat comes back and he's all dirty.
Because they had like a conversation. So they get in this big argument, Rachel and Lewis, about is there an afterlife or is there anything after this? And then because she was feeling some way about her sister.
Rachel was traumatized by death because of how her sister died.
Zelda.
She was younger, and like her sister had some type of
disease or
thing where like
disformed or something like that.
Yeah, her body's disformed.
It was. Ooh.
And she couldn't really walk and stuff, and Rachel was in charge of giving the food to her sister through like this little food chute.
She would have to walk up there, but she decided to use this food chute, and her parents wasn't home.
Yeah, she didn't feel like doing it, so she put it through the chute, and then it malfunctioned, and then the sister Zelda tried to go and get the food, and then she fell in it, and then she died.
Yeah, and you saw the blood drip, and they didn't show the actual, her problem, but it was
she has a thing with death that she doesn't really like, so she didn't want to tell Ellie that the cat died, and then when she magically sees the cat there, she's like, I thought you said the cat was dead. He was like, it was. It was dead, okay? And then she was like, well, good thing you're not a vet. He was like, it's dead. It was dead. Now it's back.
And then, so he goes to Judd's house and was like,
so
how is he back? And he was like, well, there's you know, there's a Pet Sematary. It was like the area where hardly nobody goes. And it was like, they had to do like the Wendigos. And there was their spirits up there and stuff like that. And so when they come back, they don't come back quite the same. Yeah. So, you know, and that, ooh.
And then he was looking at him like, are you serious? Like, so you're not gonna tell me this? But then he was like my dog that died before. It was like, when I did it, he came back mean, but he was always kind of mean-spirited. So I didn't think that it was anything different. And since Church was such a nice cat, that nothing bad would happen to the cat, he'll come back nice. But that's not what happened, because the cat scratched Ellie.
Cat scratched Ellie, cat scratched the dad.
Yeah.
Cat brought a dead bird to their bed.
To eat it while they was about to have sex.
It was like, and then so he just released the cat. Fast forward to Ellie's birthday.
Yeah, he dropped that cat off in the middle of nowhere. Yeah. Because he couldn't, he tried to kill it, tried to put it down for a second time.
He was gonna put it down, but he was like,
I can't kill it.
And so he was like,
because they put on the little sad eyes, like, you know, in Shrek.
Yeah.
Like Shrek 2. He's like, don't do it. Like, he couldn't do it, so he just let him go. So he let him go, and then so it's Ellie's birthday. Everybody's there, and then Ellie sees. It's like church, but it's like they're by the street,
and it's always all the time.
All these truckers just going 100 miles per hour on that road.
Oh, and don't text and drive or call and drive.
Yeah, he wasn't paying attention.
Yeah, so Church walked back, was in the middle of the road, and Ellie was like playing hide and go seek. She went to the road to see Church, and that's when the truck comes, and then that's when the dad, I think her brother Gage went out there.
Yeah, her brother went out there, and then the dad tried to save the brother, but she did from the truck, but he didn't know that Ellie was on the other side of that truck too. So Ellie got hit, she died, mom's crying. It's just bad. And so since he can't live like this, like if his daughter gone that way, and he knows that the cat came back, he said, I'm gonna stay here while y'all go to grandma and grandparents' house, since y'all don't want to be in the house right now because of what happened. He said, I'll be with y'all in a few days. He went and dug up her grave, took her body to that pet cemetery and buried her. And before he did that, he kind of told Judd that he was gonna do it, but he kind of drugged Judd to
say, he couldn't stop him. Yeah,
that I'm gonna do it and you can't stop me. Because Judd was like, I know what you're thinking, and then he was like, but you're the one that told me about it. So he kind of drugged his drink, made him knock out, went and did the deed, and came back. Daughter came back, and she's back, but she's not the same. And she's like kind of evil now.
Yeah, she's evil now. She was dancing around and stuff like that.
He was telling her to stop, and she was breaking stuff, and he was yelling at her.
It's like, his mom love me, blah blah blah. And then the mom was like, well, we're coming back, you know, because I miss you and I can't stay being here, because she was getting like flashbacks and memories, PTSD of like her you know, what happened with her sister at that house, because that was her parents' house. So now she goes while they, you know, they're talking and conversating. He's like, you know, she's back. She goes over to Judd's house and kills Judd.
Yeah, Ellie kills Judd.
In the worst way.
Oh, it was bad. It was gruesome.
It
was gruesome.
Yeah.
Oh. I don't want to say what happened.
Yeah, we're going to say what happened too, just because you want to watch it. But yeah, and then so she kills Judd, and then it ends up returning to the house, and she like does this fake out to make it seem like she went somewhere, and so Lewis is looking for her elsewhere while she's at home.
Still at the house.
Right, and the mom doesn't accept her. She's like, "Do you miss me, mom?" She's like, "What the?"
She's like, "This is not my daughter. This is somebody else, because she's dead." And the daughter doesn't like that, so now she's trying to kill the mom now.
Yeah.
And she's sitting there just torturing her while the dad is at the other house looking for Judd. He's like, what happened to Judd? And sees that Judd's dead. He's like, oh no. Then he got to go back out.
He's like, oh shoot.
And then basically try to help out. And then the mother ends up putting the son out through the window. And then as she's doing that, Ellie stabs her in the back and kills her. And then
Lewis runs upstairs, ends up getting knocked out by Ellie. And then so now Ellie is dragging Rachel to the Pet Cemetery to bring her back.
Same thing to her. And then the mom comes back, gets the dad.
And then
the dad, he puts the son inside of the car so that he's safe while he's trying to protect them.
He beat up Ellie, and so he's about to put the final nail in the coffin. He gets killed, and now the mother, and then they drag him in the Pet Cemetery.
Yeah, so all three of them are like walking zombies or whatever, and they're all going back to the car where the little boy is, and he's just waving, because you know he's like 2 years old. He's seeing his family. He's like, hi, and they're coming to do the same thing to him, but they didn't even show that. They just blacked out.
I'm glad they didn't. I was like, woo.
But that movie was great though.
That movie was excellent.
Amazing.
I liked it. I loved it.
It was like seeing like the dad go from sane to insane to back to sane, trying to help his wife and everything.
Exactly.
And it was really good.
It was really good to me. I definitely enjoyed it. We gotta watch the remake to see the differences and stuff like that. But I'm giving it a solid 9 out of 10.
Yeah.
I loved it. I loved the scenes. It was great. It made sense. Everything was
made sense. Only thing that got me same with Shazam was these trucks don't stop. These trucks do not stop.
They don't look at the road.
A cat died from the truck. They almost died on their way moving there because they moved there. Then you just heard "Joof," and they're like, "Oh, that was a truck that passed by."
Right, like what?
The cat. Then they killed the daughter. Then it's like he's on a 18-wheeler looking at his phone. I'm like, so y'all just bad drivers that just speed down the same road every day, right? Yeah. Y'all just don't stop for nothing. You don't see anything. Like, I'm just like, my God.
So what do you give it out of 10?
Same thing.
Give it a 9 out of 10. I enjoyed Pet Sematary. But anyway, guys, comment below, guys. Let us know what you think.
Don't forget to like and share. Deuces.